Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. Big show in store for you tonight. Just a joy to have you here in the audience watching the live, asking questions live. And if you're watching the replay, really appreciate you watching the replay. And you can still comment below. I do answer every one of your comments on YouTube. Got a fun show tonight. It's a little freeform tonight. It's been a crazy busy week. Wait till you see some of the stuff I've been up to the last few days. If you've been following Instagram, you may have figured out what some of that has been. We've got a lot of regulars in here already. This is so amazing. We'll say hello to you in just a moment. Here's our agenda for tonight. I want to have an open community discussion around route planning. I think that this increasingly is more important for me and more important for others if you're taking short trips of days or weeks, certainly months, because I think that doing some pre-planning can not only save you some money, save you a whole lot of decision fatigue, and save you some trouble. And I gave this talk at the Volta campout this weekend, so it's really top of mind for me. We got a libation live, a stout from a Harvest host I stayed out last night. And we got a song of the week, Breakfast Time in the USA is a little teaser on that. But this is going to be our big community discussion here in a few minutes. And if you have any tips, I want to hear about those in particular. And I actually have my iPad. We're going to be doing some live demos. So if you have an app or a website, we're going to try my darndest to bring that up quickly so that we can take a look at it together. And I'm just really, really excited about that. Libation Live, as I mentioned, this is where I stayed last night. This is a small town Michigan City, Indiana, was it? I think Michigan. Yeah, right on the border of Indiana and Michigan. The Haymarket Brewery and Tap Room is where I stayed last night, and we want to share that with you. It was just an amazing experience, as they usually are. And it's all about your questions. So if you're new to the What's Up Wednesday program, do us a favor, type in NEW, and we'll see if we can give you some special shout out, call out. If you need some ideas on what to ask Scott about now, my third year full-time travel. Full-time since February 2019. Anything is kind of on the table tonight. Everything's fair game because we're pretty transparent here, and that's the way we roll. And we saw a lot of regulars in here tonight. Oh yes. And if you have recommendations on van tips, I'm all ears for those. The email address in the yellow is where you can send those in. GSLL viewerrecommendation@gmail.com. If you can, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a library built up so we can start doing those weekly again. I've got a few, but I'd much rather have them come from you as well. And then if you're into giving me a tip, you can make the change jar jingle using the super chat. So that's the $ next to the chat field. Don't feel obligated, but if you do find value in what we do here, I sure would appreciate a buck or two. That helps me, I don't know, keep my libation habit alive and keep gas in the tank. So I do appreciate that. And if you go once kind of the long form, there is on my website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com, a form to fill out, and you get a little more verbose on your suggestions and other things that are listed on the form. How are we doing so far? So let me show you where I'm coming in at you from. Lord have mercy. And then we will give some shout outs and ask you where you're coming in from. So I'm coming at you from Hammond, Indiana. If you're not familiar with this is kind of on the way to Chicago. What you're looking at there is my Travado in the foreground there. Miss Lily is her name. In the back is a golf course clubhouse. And to the van's, I guess your left, that's actually the driving range. They have me parked out against the driving range. I love golf courses for Harvest host sites. A few reasons. Number one, they shut down early, they start early, and they usually got a pretty good 19th hole, is that what they call it? Bar and grill. And this is no exception. This is looking west, and if you look really close, you can see Chicago. If you look to the east, this is the refinery, so we get this petroleum fragrance in the air, which I think is kind of cool actually. Smells like Texas, West Texas. And there's a zoom in of the Chicago skyline. We're quite a ways away actually still from Chicago, but that's what it looks like out the window tonight. And if you're kind of curious about where this is located, right there, the blue dot on the map. And again, this is a Harvest host site. You need to be a member. If you're doing the all-in package, This is about less than $250 a year to get access to now over 9,000 sites, and it's probably my best tip for RVers. Unless you're going to go hike and park in the mountains, communing with the moose, the bears, and the bees, I think it's one of the best programs. I routinely stay at a Harvest Hill site 2 to 4 or even 5 nights a week, and tonight is no different. And they have a special, I should have put it up here on the screen. You can actually save 20% right now if you want to buy Harvest Hill. So you can go to my website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com, click on the more, and do the essential RV thing there. But that's where I'm coming at you from. Let's talk about weather. We always like to talk about the weather. Let me zoom in here for you. It's pretty hot. It's, early August. It's supposed to be hot, right? So here in Hammond, it's going to be lovely 80s today, and then it's going to be 59 overnight. That should cool the rig down so I can sleep without air conditioning, which is amazing. But again, if you look at the entire North America, it's pretty hot, boys and girls, as it should be. Here's some gasoline prices in the area. $3.85. I would have to backtrack a bit, but I paid $3.99 today. And like I said, there is a refinery literally out my window here, and real estate prices here in Whiting, which is a little community just north of Hammond. Hammond has a huge casino, the Horseshoe Casino. If you've ever been to Chicago, you probably know about that. But for a couple, 300 grand, you can get a reasonable house in the area, which is pretty awesome. All right, where are you watching from? That's what we always want to do, is give a shout out. If you're new to the program, we want to give a shout out to some of our regulars and call you out specifically if you're new. So I see some familiar names in here, and then we got a couple of shout outs. We got Ron in the house from upstate, a regular viewer. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Here's Louisville Steve. So amazing. Sherry is celebrating 1 year in her Embassy RV. And somebody please ask Sherry the name of her van. Too bad we don't have audio because it's a mouthful to say. But Sherry, if you can share with your with the group here tonight the name of your cool van. Congratulations, 1 year. That's amazing. How did that go so fast? Holy smokes! The clock ticking so slowly up to your delivery, and then it flies by after it. That's what I found. We got Sharon in the house, and Steve is picking up his embassy next week. Holy smokes, that's amazing. Good job. I'm hoping to see the embassy team this week. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but we'll see. Here's Mary in Arkansas, Texas. What? Is there a city name, Arkansas, Texas? That's so funny. These states that border each other. Oh, she's like, no, Texarkana? Is that where you are? Now I'm all confused. Jane's in the house. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. Hope you're all feeling better over there. And let's see, Denham's in the house. Good to see you. Gas is $4.34. That's coming down, right? Here's California. Mud Pie, good to see you. 85 in Hewitt. Costco, regular Orange County runs about $4.80 a gallon. So that's at less than $5. It is coming down. That's pretty good. Let's see. Kathmandu's in the house. We say hi already. Charlotte, $3.90. Yeah, I just paid $3.66 outside of Madison just about a week ago. So it's pretty exciting. And yeah, Deborah say hit the thumbs up button. I sure do appreciate that. And so David got his van back from the service center. That's always good when your rig gets back from the doctor, right? Here's Rich in the house. Thank you for again sharing your ethos, Rich. Recently, really appreciate that. Here's Mason Mike in the house. This is great. $3.69 at Costco in Mesa. 104 degrees. Oof. That's gas is going down, temperature's still up. That's the way we roll there in Phoenix. Homeless and full-time as of today. I'm loving it. Congratulations, Dave. Big step for you, sir. Share in the group. This is really going to be kind of an open discussion tonight, so I'm going to monitor the chat really carefully. We're just going to have an open discussion tonight. It's been a super long week, and we'll why here in a minute. And congratulations. I'm really, really proud of you, sir. And we met some full-time travelers this weekend, and they are so excited. So he's saying 8 months today. So just congratulations, and so proud of you. See, Donna's here. Looking forward to the show tonight. Appreciate that. Here's Barry. That might be a new name. Greetings from sunny FLL. Endless summer in Chicago. Here's Idaho Voyager. Love your channel. Thank you out here in Idaho. That's a great state. And here's Kathy. So if you are looking, watching the show, the live or the replay, and you're coming in from a country other than the United States, Canada, we've not had some new countries on the show for a while, but we've had some crazy ones. Israel, Pakistan, India, Qatar. We're kind of a global program. So if you are coming in as from a different continent, kind of country, certainly, shout out, and we'll give you a flag on the map for next week. We got Dale in the house, just a few more, and then we'll move forward. Deborah just spent the night at a brewery. How was that experience? Is that your first one? Oh, no, I spent the night at a brewery. Jeez. Yeah, big news there, right? I love them. What can I say? And everybody's so friendly. Well, wait till I get there. You'll get there. Oh, Roads of Life in the house tonight. Woo, made it. Thank you, sir. Hopefully you're watching from your embassy, from your driveway. That would be great. South Dakota in the house. Frank and Sharon. Here's William and Frisco. Nana Van Glam. Just got your 2022 GL. So excited. Woot, woot. Yeah, congratulations. A big clap for Nana Van Glam getting your new Travato. So proud of you. Yeah, congrats. That's just so stellar, so awesome. Okay, so I think I got most folks. Keep chatting amongst yourselves. Here's Steve giving us a little tip. So that denotes a jingle in the jar. On day 3 of 4, a full-time headed to St. Louis, then Chicago. Any parking tips for Chicago? McCormick Place is a little pricey. Thanks. We're actually going to kind of talk about that a little bit. I would say if you're going to St. Louis, stop in St. Louis. Arch, kind of cool to see, St. Louis Arch, but if you've got a half a day, 3-4 hours, stop and see the City Museum in St. Louis. It is not about the city of St. Louis. It's about this crazy eclectic guy that bought an old shoe factory and turned this place into Alice of Wonderland on steroids, LSD, and everything else you can think of. Please do not go through St. Louis without stopping, at least for a little bit, at the City Museum. You will thank me later. Parking tips for Chicago. Read the signs for sure. The McCormick Place, we can even look at that tonight when we get into our topic of route planning. McCormick, I guess it's pricey. It's Chicago, so everything's expensive in Chicago. You might try getting out in the suburbs a little bit. So I know for sure Forest Park is a village that borders Chicago. It's like Chicago, Oak Park, and then Forest Park. Forest Park, you can park on the street. You just need to call in the city number. Look at their website, Forest Park, Illinois, and you can call it in. You can park on the street for free. And depending on the traffic, it's anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes to downtown. If you want to stay in Chicago, what I would recommend, and I've done this, is do Spot Hero or ParkWiz. They are commercial parking paid lots. Use an app and find a spot. Go kind of scope the lot first. Make sure there's no height issues. Make sure it's in a safe place. Make sure it's gated, and then buy a spot there. It's probably going to run you $25-ish overnight. Come in at 8 p.m., roll out at 8 a.m., so you're not paying the peak day prices. Would be another alternative for you. Another one is, and I just did this last week, Andersonville, which is a super cool neighborhood north of Chicago. You can park on the street for free. It's a residential parking. There's no zoning. Just be sure and read the signs, and you can stay on the street for free there. I just did that last Monday night, and you'll love Andersonville. Clark Street is the main drag through Andersonville. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. That's super cool. Right out of the gate, we're getting some value. Hey, if you're having fun, give us a thumb up. Appreciate that. Let's see. Here is... look at this. Heather, with your fancy writing. Been watching for about a month. First time commenter from Tennessee. Heather, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the Go Small, Live Large family community. This is the most amazing group, and I'm just so proud of what we are building together. 80 people in here already, and we haven't got to our topic yet. I'm getting there. Let's see. Here's Sherry. So I asked her for the name of the van. So she's actually put it phonetically. Thank you for people that live in vans like me. Mungu Bariki. And it's Swahili for God bless in honor of my African family. African family. So Sherry is just one of the greatest human beings on earth. She sponsors a whole bunch of folks in various nations around the world, and she actually goes to visit them too. And we got to stay with Sherry. It's been a couple weeks now, right? And got to hear about her kids, and she's a great human being. Thank you for doing all that, Sherry. Thank you for sharing. Mungu Ba Riki. I'm thinking I like Lily better for my van because I could never get that out of my mouth after a couple of stops at the hardware stores. Look at this, Gilbert. Woo! Sir, look at this. Scott just picked up, thank you for your super chat, sir. That is a juicy one. One more shake of the jar. Just picked up our new, to us, 2021 Winnebago Travado GL National Park Foundation Edition. Drove from Dallas to Jacksonville this past weekend. Stayed at Harvest Host in Louisiana on the way. Loved every minute of it. You, sir, have a fantastic van. If I got my van run over by a train, that's what I go find exactly. And I am so proud of you. You've got to be in seventh heaven, and hopefully you're watching from the inside of your van. Gilbert, let us know what your van name is. That is so great here. All right, let's see. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Oh wow, Barry's coming in from Banff. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining. That may be a new name. Here's Blockchain. I'm actually coming through Pittsburgh. I'm working on getting a channel meetup. Coming to Pittsburgh on the way to the Hershey Rv Show in September, mid-September. So stay tuned for that. Greg's in the house. We love Greg. If you're looking for window screens for ventilation for your driver and cab window, he makes them. They're really well made. Go to my website. You can get all the information there, and there's a click-off link for email for Greg. Okay, Esther's from Canada. Hi from Southwest Ontario. Gas is Canadian, $1.60 a liter. So you math geniuses, of which I am not. A liter, there's about it's 4 quarts in a gallon. So a liter's about a quart. So gas is kind of expensive up there. So it's $4 or 4 times 1.60, which is pushing $6, right? And hopefully that's coming down. I mean, the irony is Canada's a huge producer of petroleum products. It's just is amazing to me. You guys have such expensive gas. All right, let's see. Let me look over here quick. Oh yeah, so let me talk through this quick because this is a pretty big deal. So let's talk about van events upcoming and the one that just happened. And I hope we see Van Liberty in here tonight because Van Liberty, who has an Embassy RV, not a Volta equipped van, attended Volta Campout. Yes, Volta Campout. They stole a sign so that I can have one wherever I go. I put it behind my seat. Don't tell them I stole a sign. And we're going to use it when we get our Van Barries going. And let me tell you a little bit about the campout. Maybe you've asked me. And this has been the planning for a long time. Like about 6 months. Volta came to me, asked for some suggestions, and I'm really happy to say they actually did some of those suggestions. Not that I'm a genius, I just have been through this rodeo before, and they did such a spectacular job. Let me kind of roll through some of these screens for you. It started on Thursday last week, basically, it ended on Sunday morning. The whole Volta team was on point. So this is Jack Johnson. He's there in front of the screen. He's doing a really deep dive on lithium, ion energy, advanced energy systems. And if you're a geek, you would have loved this. I'm not, but I learned quite a bit. And what one big learning for me is that Volta is just doing it the right way in the right industries with the right partners. This is not a hobbled together situation. They're very intentional about this, and I would love to know if anybody attended this. Van Liberty was the only one I saw, but there was quite a few storyteller folks. And anyways, a really good session. Next, this is Jack. So he and I, so Jack Johnson's one of the co-founders. There's 4 co-founders of Volta. He is the chief technology officer. The whole team is just so amazing. So I did a route planning secrets workshop of an hour, and then he and I went back and forth on living on lithium, and we took questions from the crowd, and it was really an eye-opener for a lot of folks. I was giving a real-life experience from being on the road, running on lithium, summer heat, doing the, charging the battery as I need. And this is the zoom in here for you. This was Jack doing live Q&A. We just did a really great job. Let me show you a few more pictures here. Oh, who's that handsome guy in the front? You can see in the background all the vans. We had literally nearly 50 vans. That'd be 50 vans, and each van carried 2 people in most cases. There was just a few solo travelers, including April. So we had like over 100 people, including the Volta employees. It was so much fun. Let me give you another one here. So this is, we're just kind of sitting around. Volta did everything. We literally just showed up. It was like showing up at a hotel, and they did all the work. This was sitting around a campfire. It was so much fun. I think this picture is, if you kind of zoom in, so I was in the back row. The front row, if you look kind of at where that telephone pole light thing is, right there is where Jason Wallsmith was singing. He gave a 2-hour concert that was powered literally by his Volta-equipped Storyteller Overland. And what's kind of cool about this is they literally picked it up the day before, and they drove all the way from Seattle, is where they bought it, to Holland, Michigan. That is not an insignificant drive, boys and girls. And even in their exhausted condition, he managed to pump out 2 hours of really awesome music. It was so much fun. I got a few more here for you. This was the campfire, and I wouldn't say we sang songs, but we all moved around. I was just a little butterfly, bouncing around all the flowers here, and we just had so much fun. It really was so very, very cool. And what made it extra special for me is my RV heroes, Kate and Joe Russo. That's their new Storyteller LT, parked next to my van, Lily. So we had lots of time together. You will be shocked that included a little nighttime late coffee drinking there in my van, Lily, just to have those two alone in my van. We've had them in my van before, but we've had other folks, and just to have some really nice fellowship with them was great. And then what was super cool, are you ready for this? It just keeps getting better, right? Is Saturday, the CEO of Volta pulled us 3 aside, and with his wife took us out on his boat out in Lake Michigan. They have a really nice boat. And there we are. This is kind of the end. The sun is going down. We're getting ready to head back. What I found this to be super cool was at sunset, we were all floating in Lake Michigan, 2 miles offshore, sitting on these like pool noodles. So it's a buoyancy. You'll be surprised, sipping bourbon. You can see the glass in my hand. So floating in Lake Michigan, 80-degree water at sunset on Saturday with the CEO of Volta and my 2 RV heroes. I was pinching myself the entire weekend, and my endorphins were just so flooded for those 4 days. I am like a basket case today. But we just had such an amazing time, and just want to share all that with you because we want to do it again. Everybody's all right. So when's the dates for the 2nd annual, right? And it gave me some ideas to up my game for some vanborees, and even for an embassy situation coming up next year. All right, a few more things. So round up, head to the Hershey Rv Show on Saturday, September 8th, the 17th of September, 11 a.m. We're going to be at the General RV booth, the Travado display. So if you're coming to Hershey, Pennsylvania for the show, please come see me. This is going to be very important. And at the Adventure Show in Chattanooga on Sunday, August 3, 10 a.m. at the Rover Vans booth. My first time attending Hershey and the Adventure Van Expo, so I'm really excited to check all of that out. So mark your calendars and get trip planning, because we want to see you at those events. All right, let me take a pause here and see where we want to go next. Yeah, let's look for some questions in here. I think it's just always so important. That's what this is about. But I just had to get off because many of you have been texting me. So what was that camp out like? I got to tell you, it was life-changing. I said 50 vans, almost 50 vans. Made some of the great contacts. One of the co-founders, Jeffrey, flew in just literally for the night. He's the co-founder of Storyteller Overland. Just so many great relationships enhanced and created for the first time. So hopefully No way. We got the Russos in the house. That is so great. Joe, you notice I covered your finger in the photo. I didn't ask for permission. I hope that's okay. Russo's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a thumb up. That is so cool. My heroes in the house. Jane Dorman, God love you. Thank you for. They were hoping to attend, and something came up at the last minute, and next year, right? Next year. So Roads of Life has a question. What's the worst and best places you've ever stayed in the van? Those are good ones. I don't know. Best is kind of wherever I am. Every day is a best. Worst is probably, I would say, weather related. It was last fall. I was leaving Helper, Utah, and was trying to outrun what do they call those? They come out of Canada, the blizzard type conditions, and I was literally trying to outrun this front, and I got to Albuquerque where I thought it'd be safe, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it was going to freeze hard for the next few days. So I woke up with middle of the night, and the wind was blowing, and I kept driving to El Paso, Texas, where I got the next morning into a cheapo rundown RV park so I could plug in and run the warmers because I was afraid of things freezing. It snowed in El Paso, Texas that day. That's about as worst as it gets. I mean, it's really, I've never been in danger. There might be nothing scenic. I stayed outside of Milwaukee, due to some client work. I stayed in a fairgrounds parking lot. Nothing scenic about that. Very efficient. Worst is very subjective to me these days. And best, and I'm at this cool golf course, and I'm going to go to the 19th hole after this. And this weekend I was camping with the Russos. I mean, seriously, does it get any cooler than that? Good question, sir. If you can share with us your worst and best, you've had your van for a little while now, then that would be great. How are we doing on time? I'm always behind. Watching from out in Lake Michigan. We saw some pretty big boats. There's something special about Michigan. I would say Wisconsin too, but something about Michigan. They are just into their marine life. And Volta Davis, I call him the CEO of Volta, and his wife, just so gracious to bring us out, right? Joe and Kate, that was I'll never forget that day of my whole life. We only had 2 bourbon accidents. One, Joe fell in his chair off the back end of the boat, and my float thing gave way, and so we ruined. He saved his chips. That was it. He saved his potato chips, drowning in the lake, but he saved the chips. And then my seating gave way in the water, and I did spill my bourbon. But I can tell you, bourbon's good, neat. That's the way I like it. But with a little Lake Michigan water in it, it's even better. That's for sure. Deborah's saying she got a Harvest Hose brewery. I've got a Harvest Hose brewery for you near some really cool sites, Elkton, Maryland. They're in the shade. What more could you want? Yeah, shade and brewery, right? So great. Let's see. Yeah, Jan, we just kind of gave you that. Hopefully I'm a little behind here. So hopefully that gave you a little synopsis. If you're not subscribed to the Instagram that Joe and Kate, RVer Russos put out, they put together a super great 1-minute reel. This is why they have a much bigger channel, because they're thinking this stuff out way better than I am. But go to RVer Russos on Instagram and watch that reel. It's a really good 60-second overview of the camp out. It was just so much fun. I kind of saved mine for the show tonight. I guess that's the deal. Yeah, so just saying, I wish Embassy would build a Travado G floor plan. They say they don't like to copy others. I appreciate that. But they could iterate on the G to make it even more improved, and I would wish they would make one too, to be honest with you. So Gilbert needs a van name. So he's got a 2021 National Park Edition Travado GL, so he's open for suggestions. Let's see, a couple more questions, and we've got to get to our topic tonight. Lord have mercy. Let me get Esteban Gullian's Jillian? I can't believe the Russo here. He wants to know, how has the off-highway van lift been working for you? Have you had any axle issues since doing the lift? It's been working for me tremendously. It's probably technically the best $3,000 I've spent on the van, which is about half price of the wrap. Wrap very pretty. That is fashion over function, which the lift is $3,000 for 3 inches. And have I had any issues? No, my CV boot did break. I'm not sure that's related to it, but I've had no issues related to the lift. Jane and Roger in here, I know they had their van, their GL lifted by the same company. Maybe they can chime in as well. But I would do it again in a minute. Why? A couple reasons. It gives you confidence of driving even in urban environments, of avoiding obstacles, driveways, curbs, and the vehicle's, well, my Travada is about 6.5 inches off the ground. Now it's just under 9 inches, and those 3 inches make such a difference in the confidence in an urban environment. Then if you get out in the woods, just uneven terrains, it makes a huge difference, certainly with the all-terrain tires. Okay, so let's shift gears. Wow, I'm so late today. You're all so patient with me. Okay, let's talk about route planning, because this is meant to be a community discussion. My question for you is, and I'll share with you what I'm doing and what I shared with the group at the campout. And my question for you is, how far in advance are you planning out? So if you're going on a 1-week trip or a 3-day trip, or you're going out for 3 weeks, how far in advance from the day you leave are you planning? I'm about 3 to almost 4 weeks in advance. I'm color coded. I'll zoom in here for you. I'm pretty meticulous on this because I have to be, because I work my business from the road, and I know where I'm going to be based on the Volta deployments and some other things like that. So my question for you is, how far in advance have you found it necessary to plan your route in advance? The next question is, do you make reservations or do you wing it? I'm thinking the Russos wing it. I actually make reservations, including harvest hosts. We're going to talk about that in a second. Why? Because campgrounds are overrun on the weekends, including harvest hosts, and I want to make sure I have a spot. So I am reserving. How do you roll? If you let us know on that. And then, what is your preferred campsite? And that's a general purpose word like Q-tip, right? Cotton swab. I'm not the guy that goes sits in the woods for 2 weeks with the moose and the bees and the bears. I'm an urban cowboy, so I love to find a small town, historic district, and a saloon, some cool history, some cool sights, maybe a river, some cool parks, cool people. That's my campsite. I spend a lot of time in parking lots, like tonight, the golf course. But let me know, what is your preferred campsite when you are traveling? I think that'd be interesting. And we'll watch the comments here in just a second. And let me know what tools you use, whether it's paper maps or apps. These are 3 of 4 of my favorites currently. And if you guys want, we can do a couple demos on a few of these so you can see them in action for route planning. So let us know what apps you're using, and if it's something different than what I'm doing, these 6 in particular, then we'll want to see if I can find that and do a demo quick on that. So if you're up for it, let me just kind of scan the crowd here, and if you're up for it, I can give you a couple of these on how I route plan. I can't believe Russo's watching from a yacht. That's so great. A land yacht, right? So let me shift gears to my iPad. Let me stop the screen. So I want to show some of you have seen this, some of you may not. And then what I'm going to do is a couple demos, and then we're going to look for your comments on the not that one. Alright, so this is my iPad. So I literally have all of my RV related apps on a single screen on my iPad. What I want to do for you is not demo KO8 particularly, but demo this is Harvest Host. Harvest Host and Boondocker Welcome. The big difference is there's more Boondocker Welcome. It's on private land. You can usually stay 1 to 5 nights. Harvest Host, owned all by one company now, is a commercial property. You can stay 1 night. There's no services available, and they expect you to spend some money, like creating a bar tab in the bar and grill in the golf course country club. So what I'm going to do is, what I want to show you is in real time here, the route planning tool, because I think this is one of the coolest things to help me find where to go quickly. So let me zoom in here for you. So I'm going to touch this bar at the top, and it's going to say search locations or hosts. So I'm going to say I'm going from Chicago, Illinois to route. Okay, route. So current location. Nope, we're going to Chicago. We're going to Detroit because I'm going there next week for client duties. Detroit. We have to pull up Michigan. So now I'm going to press the plan route. That's the blue one in the bottom, or the purple bar at the bottom. And what we'll do is automatically calculate where the harvest hose sites are along the way. So coming around the lake, not surprising, there's a whole bunch here. So you can kind of get at a glance. Here's a farm. Here's Serenity Field. This is a Boondocker Welcome. The houses are Boondocker Welcome. Everything else is a commercial property. So let's see. I think I've stayed local poor. I have not stayed there. You'll be surprised to know. If I go over here, these are all Boondocker Welcome. Clear into the. I'll zoom in here for you to the Detroit area, and that is how I would sort of gauge where I'm going. Here's Boondocker Welcome. I've actually stayed here. This is a cool mall. You can stay one night. It's really close to the Henry Ford Museum. I've been seeing a lot of this lately. Churches. This is cool. They probably don't want you to stay on Sunday morning too late. And then everything on this is Canada. They're Canada off to the left. So by using this route planning tool built into Boondocker Welcome, it gives me a sense of what's along the way. And one of the, I think, the best features of Boondocker Welcome and Harvest Host is it takes you places I wouldn't necessarily go. I'm a big backroads guy, and this kind of takes me to places I wouldn't go, which is kind of the whole point. And I relish the mystery of those places. All right, the next one I want to show you is road trippers. Let me show you this. I use this one kind of infrequently. Let's see, you got to go to map, and you got to kind of come down here. Oops, let me zoom in here for you. So we go back. So this is the home page. You see the bottom right-hand corner. There's the car. So current location. Let's do the same thing. So this is. Let's go Chicago to Detroit, and we're going to go search. Now the difference here is. I'm going to have to put Illinois here. Illinois, Detroit, Michigan. The difference here is these aren't places to stay. These are things to see, do, and otherwise. And it creates this like little timeline. You see these elements here? So we can go in here. Whoops. And it creates this. Where's the guide? Of things to do along the way. It's taking me way north. That's kind of interesting. So apparently there's not a lot of stuff to see and do. Dunes National Park would be one. So if nature's of interest to you, that kind of points it out for you. Here's a zoo. And here's something that's kind of nearby, the Henry Ford Museum. Man, if you haven't been to the Henry Ford Museum, please make a trip and go see that. It's one of the most amazing things. This would be good for maybe shorter distances in between some urban environments. That's where I found this to be pretty good. Let me show you just a couple more, and then we'll take some we'll look at the chat for your questions. Okay, so that was that one. I want to show you Campendium. I've been using this more recently. And what I like about this is it kind of is an amalgamation of dump stations, gas stations, truck stop type thing, campsites, Cracker Barrels. You see that here, right? So let's say we're going to current location. We're going to Detroit. Detroit, Illinois. Look at that. Detroit, Michigan. And Detroit, Michigan. Now, I can see at a glance everything that's going on here. And I actually explored this, a campground. And it does a really nice job. So there, you see under the name, there's the dollars. It was last reported just a year ago almost. That's kind of funny. You could open it up in your navigation app. Here's some questions. Here's some reviews. All this in the one app. Here's Cracker Barrels. Here's Wayne County Fairgrounds. So it's a real nice amalgamation of places to stay Now, if you're typing, I don't know, Moab, Utah, it'd be a very different experience. Well, let's just do it and see what happens. Never tried that. Moab, Utah, and see what comes up. Look at all these forests and things. You forest people would love this stuff. Look at all that stuff. Holy cow. Let's just touch one and see what comes up. This is Alcove Crackground. There's Sun Outdoors. Some of you may have stayed at some of these. I don't know. I have not. Here's Arches Gateway. What I'm not finding, and you might be a little surprised as I am, that there's not any national parks in this list that I'm seeing off the top of my head. Here you can stay in Sun Outdoors, Moab downtown. That's expensive, $54. That's not too bad. Anyway, the point being is that this is kind of focused on places to stay, but I really like the way they organize it. It's really fast at a glance to get that list. I'm going to share one more with you for route planning purposes. This is if you're into stuff. That is, wait for it. I thought I had it teed up here. I got another tip for you. Culture Trip. Where is it? Oh, it's on my front page. Please hold. Right there. So it's called Culture Trip. And what I like about this app is if you're in town for a while, so let's type in Detroit. It helps, and it's Detroit, Michigan, where I've been looking. So it helps me determine what I want to see and not see during my trip. So here is on the bottom or the top row here, 25 must-see attractions in Detroit. And I'm an urban cowboy. Again, I'm not out with the moose and the bears. But this is the kind of stuff that interests me. Motown Museum, Eastern Market, there's the Guardian Building. It's a library. I'm definitely going to be working in there. Look at that ceiling, boys and girls. There's the Henry Ford Museum. I'm going back. Can't wait. Let me know in the chat if you've been to the Henry Ford Museum, because it is off the charts cool. Anyway, this is one of their suggestions. This is so here's top 10 museums. We did museums sort of already. Here's 20 things to know before visiting Detroit. Again, what I like about this app is it's a research tool. So if I'm only in town for a few days, what are some things that I really want to see, really want to avoid? There's that same building. Look at that. Can you imagine sitting there for a better part of a day working on channel business? I cannot wait. I hope they have a martini in there. Here's downtown Detroit. So these are some of the tools I'm using. So if you can, I'm going to scan the chat quick, and if you can share it with us what you use, then I'll see if I can find them on the App Store quick or bring up their website so we can do that. I got one thing I want to show you that I learned at the camp out. This comes courtesy of Alan. Many of you have asked me about how do I track the weather? The weather's going to happen anywhere. I'm actually not driving away too fast unless it's a blizzard headed my way. Let me show you this app. This is called Drive Weather, and this is stunning. So what this is it's a real-time weather along a route. So this is I did earlier before the show tonight. So the pink line shows the route to Detroit, and these are the weather systems. And see in the bottom right-hand corner, I can scroll through the next few days. Well, I gotta spend some money to get more than 7 days in, but this is tomorrow, Thursday. This is today, and if I drill in here, it shows me what the weather is going to be like. Making me a liar. Is that not? Oh, I haven't installed it yet. No, that's not true. I did install it. Not sure why it's not showing that. It's kind of weird. But what I was shown is that it shows the weather systems along the route, so you can decide to delay or hurry along that route. I'm not sure why that's not working. It's kind of annoying. Oh, I see this. So this is showing. So as I'm doing, let me hit this again. Then we'll get to the chat. So this is temperature, I'm guessing. See, it's a little light blue by the lake. I don't know what that indicates. This is temperature along the route. This is wind. Yeah, they make you want to pay for it, which I do. I pay for a lot of my apps. I don't like to really do that. Okay, so you get the point. So give it a shot. If you're concerned about weather on your trip, Drive Weather is what you want to look up. And I thank Alan for sharing us that. That was something I learned at the Volta campout. How are we doing so far? 45 minutes after the hour. We haven't gotten into Libation Live yet. Okay, let me scan the group here, and Michael's saying, yeah, put my logo on. Yeah, well, confiscated sign. So great, right? Don't tell my... They picked all the others. This was actually left at camp, so I figured it was free game. Is that just not the coolest thing, though? Love how they got the amp. Let's see. Oh, Mark! These guys gave me a bottle of booze. You guys are amazing, so thank you. Friend from Frisco, Texas. We enjoyed that. There's not much left, actually. And yeah, just great to have you in here. So much fun. It was so crazy fun. Okay, what I'm looking for is yeah, Elon's all over the news these days. Thank you for that. What I want to do is let's see. We might go a little late tonight, if that's okay with everybody. So here's Mudpie's got a question. How do we know what videos you are planning to create? Is there a schedule somewhere, or do you have other regular times like What's Up Wednesday? Woo. Awesome question. Never been asked that in all these years. Glad you asked. How do we know what videos you're planning to create? You don't, because it's a very fluid release schedule. What we're trying to do is do a van tour every Sunday and then fill in around that and the What's Up Wednesday. Van tours perform very well, so they're kind of the anchor point. Those come out on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. Central. I usually do a premiere, so there's always going to be a video on a Sunday at 5:40 p.m. Central. Usually going to be a van tour. Is there a schedule somewhere? That's the time. 5:40 p.m. Sundays, Central Time, and then 6 p.m. Central on the What's Up Wednesdays. So that's the deal there. And then I'm trying to fill in with some of these other van tips, van places. I'm working on that. I did hire an editing team, so we're trying to get them up to speed. So we'll see more videos more regularly, but that's the way we roll right now. Thank you for asking that great question. April's in the house. Gosh, you made it home. Good job. Let's see. Alberta Clipper. Yeah, that's what they call those storms coming out of Canada. Appreciate that. Let's see. Sharon Snow, is there a state you haven't been to that you've not been to that you have on your list to go? I'd say everything in the Northeast. I am going to Pennsylvania for the Hershey Show, but I'm not going any further north because I have to turn around and come back to Tennessee, Chattanooga for the adventure van. But everything in the Northeast is still fair game. I have not been in my van to Colorado yet, so that's bad. Nebraska's high on my list. And let's see. Dan Liberty did make it in here. Yes. Good to see you, sir. Did you have fun at the oh, that's why you had to leave, because you had to be in Elkhart. That's funny. Did you have fun at the Volta campout? Hanging out with the Volta people? Maybe you're getting your Lithium system installed, so that would be awesome, right? Let's see. So Deborah's got a question here related. So we're gonna go a few minutes over, and I'm gonna get the Libation Live in just a couple more minutes. But I'm curious what apps you use in route planning. So that's kind of our community discussion tonight. If you got some apps, I'll bring them up on my iPad so we can check them out together, like Drive Weather. Deborah, thank you for the question. 2 questions. Number 1, do the Harvest Host sites have hookups? No. You are on your own, and most Harvest Hosts, I would say well north of 50%, probably closer to 60, 70, even 80%, depending on the location for sure, specifically say no generators overnight. And I appreciate that, being one that invested in a lithium system so I can run my AC in silence. I cannot tell you how annoying it is when there's a generator in the vineyard, other side of the parking lot, and they got that droning noise. So there's no hookups, no power, no water, no sewer. You are dry camping, boondocking, whatever you want to call it. There's no hookups. However, Boondocker Welcome usually have some degree of hookups, 15 amps, maybe some water. I don't think I've ever seen one with a sewer connection, but they're usually current or former RVers, so they get it. and they do ask you to have a very minimal charge. Like for electricity, I think I paid, I don't think I've ever paid more than $10. And there was one time I stayed 2 nights and it was super hot weather. I just plugged in to a 15 amp circuit. I paid the $5, but because I didn't have to worry about, I could leave my AC on full blast, full compressor. So that was question 1. I'll look for question 2 here. So Pam's saying she at least a month out in advance. That's kind of what I'm doing for sure. Here's the Russos saying it depends on where we're going. We wing it most of the time. I thought that might be the case with you too. And it's kind of nice to have a co-pilot. I don't have a co-pilot. So for me to make, sudden stops, sudden decisions, I do, but having a co-pilot it really helps to make those. So Van Liberty's saying he's a tumbleweed, so he wings it like the Russos. Thanks, Joe Kate, for being here tonight. They're just the awesome people. Let's see. So Deborah wants to know, this is question number 2. What cool mods have you seen to make the table more sturdy? I'd like to keep the option for the transformer bed intact, but fix the wobbles. I've done nothing to mine. Mine, it's actually pretty, the thing's sitting on it right now. I use the heck out of my table. And I know Jane and Roger cut about, Jane, keep me, Roger, 3 inches off the backside, connect to the wall, so it's closer to the wall. So I think that would give a little bit more of a sturdy connection. But I personally haven't done anything to mine. Let's see. Good group tonight. Great discussion. Look at this. 122 people. Thumb up, folks. So Pam is saying, let's see. Pam is saying, small campgrounds, no kids, no big rigs. Yeah. What I've been doing lately is making campground reservations during the week. I'm doing something completely different. Hopefully a harvest host during the weekend, or even street camping or parking lots, Cracker Barrels, because the campgrounds are just overrun on the weekends, and they're more expensive. They're taking a clue from Uber, Lyft, and they price, if it's $50 during the week, it's $70 on the weekend. I get it, limited space, why not, right? Yeah, Joe and Kate, that's so great. Let's see, looking for. So Steve is saying wing all the way, preferred campsite, whatever's free. Not bad. So I just came on the back road, Illinois, or the Indiana Sand Dune National Park. Huge sign, campground full. Today's Wednesday. So because I'm usually trying to do channel work, video work, client work, I don't have the luxury of kind of winging it as much as I did. Yeah, so Rissos are saying here, preferred campground is middle of the woods with the bears and the moose, no one else around. Yeah, I should try it. I don't know. So RV parking's been very good for us. Let me see if I can pull that up fast. Maybe RV park. I never heard of that. Or maybe I have RV park. Do I have this on my list here? I do have it. So let me see if I can shift gears and we'll bring it up. Screen. This is kind of a random window. Well, not random. Organized chaos tonight, boys and girls. Brains whenever. Okay, so RV parking. So here's on my screen. It's right here. Let's see. I've never used this before. Find RV parks near a city or a place. Well, we'll type in Detroit. See what happens. Detroit. MI. And the campgrounds are lots of interesting stuff here. We got Walmarts. See on the edge there, yeah. So Detroit's pretty much a desert for campgrounds. Maybe let's try Holland, Michigan. See what comes up. So here we get, okay, the Ottawa Fairgrounds is where we actually stayed for the camp out. Let me zoom here, guys, so you can see this. But it's got a pretty interesting smattering. Holland State Park, I've stayed there. That's a cool campground. And then just down the street a little bit is on the beach. So RV Parky, that's a good one. I might start using that. I like how they show everything. Easy to find. Including pilots, Steps Treats. They have a fair amount. Here's Oak Grove. A fair amount of information. So I might be trying that more often. I don't know if I paid for that or not. See if they got a price in the upper right hand corner, really tiny print, $58. some amenities. You got a rest area. That's cool. All right, that might be being loaded up on my list a little bit further. Thanks for sharing that. Roads of Life. Let's keep going here. Freaking Sharon saying Harvest House and Cracker Barrels are your favorite. Yeah, try and stay in a Cracker Barrel if you got a choice. I just find it to be way quieter. They close at 9. I've only had one say you can't stay. Way more hit rate than Walmart, which is noisy and super overlit. And always go in and I support the Cracker Barrel by my Cracker Barrel meal. Let's see. So Mud Pie says, I'm glad we're having this discussion. I've heard drive weather and highway weather are good to use, so you know what the expected weather issues are. Could be along the way. Yeah, Alan showed demo drive weather, and he had the full, I think he paid for it, so he had the full access. It looked pretty cool. I should do that, I guess. I'm usually not driving long distances over a few days. I'm slowed down quite a bit. But so make note, boys and girls, drive weather and highway weather are two to use here, which is have around. See, Greg likes Harvest House Cracker Barrel. Yeah, Harvest House is just such a Cracker Barrel. That's a thumb up from everybody. And I found people at Cracker Barrels to be really better RV neighbors than some of the Walmart folks. Let's see, Rockwell, Texas in the house. Getting advice to each other. I love this. So great. Let's see. So Clint wants to know, what van is the 2021 GL NPFE? Winnebago makes it, Clint. They made a limited release of a few hundred vans, if that many. 100 was the original. What makes them different, they only made them for 2 years maybe, 2020, 2021, is they put on cool off-road tires and wheels. They gave some outside aesthetics with some, they didn't wrap the vehicle, but they put some stickers on it, if you will. But the big deal was, why I would go get that one, is it has 4 battery modules in their Volta system. Mine has 3. So you have 33% more power in that battery pack because of the 4 modules. Mine only has 3. So I've been running my AC since I got here pretty much full blast. It's a 50% on a 3-pack, and that would probably be at 80 if I had the 4-pack. So that's what that is. Winnebago Travado 2021. G is a floor plan, L distinguishing Lithium Volta, and National Park Foundation Edition. Some badging on it, and they made a donation. So that's where that comes from. Thanks for asking. All right, a few more things here. We're going to go late, I'll say 15 minutes, because we got some good stuff going on in here, and we haven't even had Libation Live yet. So Joe, are you, and Kate, Joe, you got your bourbon out, sir? Let's do that. Let me get the beer. This is so much fun. This is my Friday night, so although I've get my new ladder installed tomorrow, finally. Can't wait. Okay, so what this is, let me shift gears. We'll keep coming back to this, and just doing the community discussion, because I think it's just so important to either do or not do some of the stuff. It just has made things way easier for me. Share, here we go, screen. Right here, Libation Live. Okay, let's talk about Libation Live. So if you're new to the program, where this comes from is 2 places. Traveling around, you get a taste, food and beverage from different places, including like a Harvest Host site. This is where I stayed last night. Haymarket Brewery and Tap Room. The second reason is Traveling Robert. He has an IPA in his hand every Friday when he does his lives. I'm like, drinking on camera? Apparently it's cool. He's got a huge channel. A huge following, like we do here at Go Small Live Large. So that's where that came from. It's just to share the tastes from the road with you. Many of these you can get in really well appointed liquor and beer stores. So this is what it is. What I was surprised to learn is there's 2 locations. Only one's a Harvest Host though. Let me zoom in here for you. The one I stayed in was Bridgman, Michigan, which is about a half hour outside of Michigan City, Indiana. It's a little funky. There's a Haymarket in Chicago, playing off the name for the Haymarket riots, which is a big rebellion around workers' rights, what have you, back in Chicago back in the 80s maybe. So here's the brew, and this is called Cold Dark Night. What's not to like about that name? And what I kind of like about it is it's got a blank side. Remember, it's really kind of unusual to see it's an aluminum can. But let me roll forward one more image. Yeah, this is the sign outside. It was super cool. That's outside on the coming in. This is my setup last night. They made amazing wood-fired pizza. I was just trying so hard to stay on my diet. I did have a cheat night, I admit. But it was so great. Working hard with the craft beer and pizza. It just doesn't get any better. And they had really bad Wi-Fi. So that's okay. Not everybody has good Wi-Fi. This is what I want to show you right here. And so if you look on the rows, the middle row right sign, Cold Dark Night, guess what word popped out at me? Yeah, that's bourbon barrel aged demonstrator double bock. I'm like, oh, let's try that. And I did. And then look one below. It's Claire's Thirsty Ale. So if you see the alcohol, the ABV, 10 on that Cold Dark Night, Claire's Thirstyville Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout with raspberries. It was a 12%. Oh, it's 8%. I see it in the white. Then 12% on this other one. That's the ounces. So it's a 10-ounce glass for $8 and a 10-ounce glass for $8. And let me tell you, holy cow, Cold Dark Night I liked better because Claire's was pretty sweet. And by the time I walked out of there, I had a big grin on my face. Okay, so let's do this together. Joe, let us know if you're close to having a libation live tonight. Now this is a double box, so it's pretty dark. Let's see if I can this way. Okay. And we always like to have our libation in a Luckenbach Texas glass, of course, right? Every beer tastes better in a Luckenbach Texas glass. And I'm telling you, there's something about, no surprise to this audience, bourbon barrel aged just gets my smile up. It is so good. There's a little bit more of their interior quick, and then we'll hit the chat again, so bear with us. So there's kind of the display, some really cool artwork on the walls. There's where they make this special brew. They had a game room in the gift shop. It was so much fun to see the kids buzzing around. Huge outdoor area. It was just really great. And again, here's where they are located. Thank you, Harvest Host. There's absolutely no way on earth I would have been there for any other reason than a place to stay. Cool, they make beer. I'm in. If you're having a good day, give us a thumb up. Sure appreciate that. We got a lot of folks still in the house tonight. Okay, so let's look for a few more examples of route planning. Such a dream to have you all here. Let's see. Some of you are way ahead. So Sherry's saying, I've stayed in several Harvest Host church locations. They were awesome. Good to know. I would like to see more of those. I think it would be so great. I think these big, beautiful buildings, big, beautiful parking lots, empty. And why not? Even if you put a 10 or a 20 spot in their donation box, right? It's probably cheaper than my bar tab. Love how you're all helping yourselves out here. So, Deborah, thank you for that. Additional information. Doris, you're never late. You showed up. We're just glad to have you. That's okay. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Looking for Henry. Raise your hand in the chat if you've been to the Henry Ford, and if you haven't, and you're in the Midwest, take a trip before the snow flies and go see Henry Ford. Plan all day. So Pam is kind of validating Campendium. Found great places to boondock on that app. That's good to know. I've not actually searched for that purpose. Boondocking, other than the Cracker Barrel. Restate this. I'm glad you found a place to boondock on that app. I was thinking BLM Land, and that's a very different app altogether. So I will continue to use Campaigning. I like that a lot. So Sherry is kind of talking about RV Parky here. We showed that. And there is, Sherry, a Harvest Host style app for churches. I can't remember what it was. Maybe one of you know. If you can help us out with that. So here's David said, have you used Passport America? Yes, I signed up for 3 years. I think mine has expired or is about to expire. I liked them. I've used them before. What makes them special is you pay to get access to a database, and then the RV Park gives you 50% off the first 1, 2, maybe 3 nights. So it's pretty big savings. You're spending half. There's a number of restrictions. I've found that so in summer months, if you're a seasonal place like Michigan, they would not allow that discount for the in-season months, but off-season, yes. So I have used it. I'm not sure I'd recommend it unless you're staying at a lot of them. I just use KOA. It's just easy. They got a great app. But let's know anybody else have experience with these guys. It was cool. I did use them quite a bit initially, and I just have not, and I probably won't re-up. There's other options now. This Motown Museum. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Traverse City. I think, yeah. Oh. That stuff is so good. Unbelievable. No way. So Russo's, we were at the Henry Ford. We were there yesterday for the second time, spent the night at the Cracker Barrel in Belleville. So if you're not familiar with the Henry Ford Museum, it's a crazy collection of everything. So the car that Kennedy was assassinated, you can stand right next to it. The chair Lincoln was assassinated, you can stand right next to it. The bus where Rosa Parks gave the police the finger and create a whole series of, you can actually be in the seat she sat in. They restored the bus. I'm getting emotional just thinking about the bus. There was something else that was just crazy. They have this whole village that Henry Ford brought from someplace, I can't remember where it was, in New Jersey. That was Edison's lab, right? And he rebuilt the entire town. And he was so maniacal about it. They brought dirt in by train, so the buildings from Jersey sat on Jersey dirt there for the museum. And if you haven't been to that the restaurant there where you're eating in candlelight, as they did in 1880s or 1850s, whatever it was, that's cool. Russo's were the Henry Museum. That's so great. That's it right there. Rich. Greenfield Village. Yeah, one of the best places. Plan on 2 days. I agree. Ride the train. I can't wait to get back there just for that. I'm so excited. It was just, I went there for a couple hours because I wanted to see the Lincoln chair, the Kennedy car, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's so crazy. Let's see. What a great group tonight. Thank you for being here. So Jeff wants to know, how do you plan for weather? I don't worry about it too much. I keep an eye on it. People ask, what if there's a tornado? What if there's a this or that? That's when you start praying and hoping your guardian angels are working overtime. I've been in some pretty severe wind, rain, storm cells where they run, 70 miles an hour. But just kind of hunker down. I'd be in an open parking lot. Make sure all the carts are in the cart corral. I'll never forget that one. Holy smokes. Stay away from trees if it's really going to be windy. But I don't really worry about it too much. And we're actually in a really bad rainstorm cell coming out of Chicago about a week ago. And we could see it coming. All your weather app alerts go off. And it was torrential rain. But I knew it was only going to last less than 10 minutes. So I drove under an overpass on the freeway, and I parked away for the rain to stop. That was a good move. I'll do that again. David, welcome to the... look at this. David, accepted an offer on my house out of there by August 31. Van life, here I come. Congratulations, David. Everybody give a clap for David. Way to pull the trigger, sir. That is so awesome. Dave, sure. So what are you traveling in? And he says, Coachman Beyond. We love Coachman. Yeah, beyond with the lithium system. 22D. Is that the bathroom on the side? Or probably not not in the back, right? 4-wheel drive. Is it 4-wheel or R-wheel? I think it's R-wheel. But congratulations, sir. That's amazing. Okay. Good questions tonight. Let's see. Gilbert saying 100 watching, only 47 likes. Sports Scott, appreciate that. So Laura wants to know, thank you, sir. We're going to cut this off in about 5 minutes, so get your questions in. I'm going fast. Non-owner, how much water does a typical shower consume? So in my Travado, I have a Truma furnace. It creates heat and hot water. The hot water is 2.6 gallons. I'm going to say less than 3 gallons because I don't run out of hot water. And there's a mix of cold and hot. It's probably, it's almost 50-50 because the water coming out of the furnace is so hot. I had it set to maybe it's 115 degrees, almost too hot in the shower. So I'd say less than 3 gallons. If you were working it quick, I think 2 people could get in a shower off one 2.6 gallon hot water session on the furnace. That's my experience, but rarely do I run out of hot water. If I'm in there lollygagging and rinsing the walls, and I rinse the walls and I rinse everything down and clean everything after my shower. So my shower is probably 70% of that consumption of the water itself. Pam, I love you. The blue dots are blue skies. I would agree. She's talking about the Drive Weather app. You all just crack me up. I love What's Up Wednesdays. Let's see. So here's Roads of Life. Any comments on your favorite van designs, best van builds? Power systems without fail is Volta. Insulation, the more the better, embassy style. Layout, 59G, old floor plan. Lift it, and I would probably wrap it just for vanity. I'm really excited to get to the RV show to see what in the heck's going on, see if anything has changed since Tampa, which was in January. I've never been to the Hershey show, so I can't remember if Joe and Kit are going or not. And I'm already lining up a bunch of appointments. We're going to do things differently this year. We're going to do a bunch of really short YouTube live tours. So stay tuned, block those days. And I'm just really excited. Good questions. That's why, I have stayed in my van all this time, is because I got it the way I like it. It performs for me. I haven't seen anything better. I'd love a storyteller. I just didn't have a toilet. I could do without the shower. But no toilet, no way for me. Let's see. Travel Dreamer, what will you do a coffee with Detroit area peeps? That's a good idea. Roundup. Let me think about that. It's coming up really fast. Another reason I'm excited is I'm going to see Kenny Chesney on the 20th. Those tickets were purchased in 2019. The concert is finally happening. But we'll see what we can do. So I'm searching for some route planning stuff here. If you can help me out with the question mark format. So 3 asterisks, 3 question marks. It helps me find it more quickly. Hey Scott, Mike says, I've run across a few Harvest Host locations actually do have hookup sites, although you may have to pay a small dollars to utilize. That's good to know. Few and far between. I would definitely not count on it. Boondocking Welcome for sure has those services more readily available, in my experience. That's right. Appreciate that. I hit the same parking lot. That's so great. In this case, let's get the whiskey out. Let's see. And I have not stayed at that one, I don't think. Belleville. I just love Cracker Barrels. And I thank them. Please thank them for letting us RVers stay there. The more, and it's spend some money. I mean, the eggs and hams like $6. What I always get is the chicken and dumplings, carrots and broccoli. Same thing. $6. Cheapest thing. Let's see. Looking. Oh, Ken, thank you for your super sticker, sir. Appreciate that. Very generous, so yeah, appreciate that. So Sherry seems to be the RV parking expert. So thanks for sharing that, and it's free. That's interesting. Oh, look at this question. Scott, have you ever tried Larceny Whiskey? Good price point, better than Maker's Mark. I'm not actually careful Makers. I've not tried it. I've seen it many times. I need to buy it. I actually need to do some consuming because I got more bottles than I have space at this point. So we didn't dent my collection nearly as bad as I thought we would over the camp out. Because I got a bottle from Mark, and we all brought bottles and we drank it all. It was so great. But let me tell you, until you try Yellowstone whiskey floating 2 miles off the coast of in Lake Michigan, you really haven't lived. Let me tell you. It's so fun. Good question here. I don't know. Jeff wants to know, folks, if we can help him out. Any apps to find good dog parks? I don't know. That's a good one. And if you can help him out there. And Jeff is saying the new GL offers, keyword offers, the 4-packs. It's an option. It's about a $5,000 option. Most dealers are not ordering those, so it'll be a custom order from the factory through your dealer. If you can afford the wait, I waited 6 months for mine. I would actually probably, I really want to get on the road, I would get 4-pack for the modules in. What we're trying to do is encourage the dealers to have both on the lot, but they're very price sensitive. Okay, a couple more minutes. Let's see, how many more do I have to go through? Cheers. Russo's. How's your sunburn, sir? I bet Kate has you slathered down with, what is it, aloe vera used for sunburns? Mine's fine. Mine, I got no sunburn, no peeling, no nothing. You got tough old skin, I guess. It's so great. Glug, right? Okay, so I'm searching for... yeah, tires. We're actually, I think, talking about this next week. I want to share my tire experience with you. I've never had them make a mistake like that, so I'm really bummed to hear about that. Hopefully that's not anything catastrophic. Ninja Slap, that might be a new name. Pour one on me. Well, I'll have a sip on that. Pour me one, sorry. Yeah, dark beers. I like 2 styles of beers: Pilsen or Lager, or Stout and Porter. Not into the wheat, not into the IPA. So I'm with you there, Heather. Cheers. This stuff is so good. If you're in Chicagoland, you can go there. Haymarket Beer Company. Cold Dark Night. The other one was really sweet. Okay. You guys are hanging around here tonight. Appreciate that. 30-year-old Jack Daniels. Holy smokes. I was slurring my words and I'm trying to go too fast. Even Esther's in the game tonight. Aperol Spritz. Something with Campari? Is that what that is? Might have the wrong. Oh, Steven, look at you, sir. Woo! Some heat tax. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully you're out using your van, sir. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate that. You're a generous man. And so Dave wants to know, watching from Virginia, will your next RV be a Class B or C or van? Probably. My only other thing I would even consider would be an A, and that's if everything changed 180 degrees. And this will be going small to live large compared to a house, but no, it'd be a van. I don't see anything else like that. Thank you for asking. Van Liberty, look at this. How do you say that word? Budget. Hey, every dollar helps, sir. Thank you for that. Van Liberty, appreciate it. And thanks for joining us. I know you drove a fair distance to get to the Volta camp out. So Steve's been putting in reducing film done on my 22 GL yesterday, front wheel cab. Seems to help some. I know Jane and Raj did the same thing, and I think they would agree with you. How fast can you go in a Travado? There's 3 speeds: flat, downhill, or uphill. Jeez, I'm trying to think of how the fastest I've ever had mine going. It was down a hill. maybe 85 for about 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 20 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, I go slow. I'm getting passed by truckers. If I'm going 70, I'm going too fast. And let me tell you why. 2 reasons. Number one, I'm in no hurry. Number two, kind of gas mileage. If I am at RPMs of 2,500 doing 60, 65, the gas mileage is 15. If I am trying to do the speed limit on the freeway of 70, I am usually downshifted up to 3,000 RPMs. My gas mileage is 9 miles a gallon. So speed is when I have my sports car. I am in no hurry. In fact, I pull over and let the annoying gnats behind me, they're in a hurry to get to work, pass me by, and I give them the thank you beep as they blaze by and give me the finger. It's so funny. Roads of life. Thank you, sir. Having a good time tonight. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Just so great to see everybody in here. Okay, looking for a few more things. Let's call the roll. Hour 21. I can't believe this. This is so great. So Greg's got a good question here. Where do you park overnight when you visit the Henry Ford Museum? So I stayed at the Harvest Host site that was the, it's kind of like an antique mall. Look on your Harvest Host. It was Harvest Host app. It was literally like, it was so close to the museum. I had no time to really charge the battery driving, so I did a charge on demand session. I will see. Let's see if we can find that again for you. Please hold. Detroit. It was called Town Peddler Craft and Antique Mall in Livonia, Michigan. So Town Peddler Craft and Antique Mall, and they had it down to a science. They allow one night, 3 spots, up to 45 feet long. And let me just see if they have any. The amenity is the gift shop. I have really no need for stuff, probably, but I always walk through just to give them a thing. So that's where I stayed. I would recommend that. Let's see, Mr. Clark. I know, right? Thank you, sir, for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, October. Well, we're taking a vacation. I'm taking a vacation from my van life vacation. We're actually flying to Europe, and we're going to take a 2-week cruise in the Mediterranean. I'm really looking forward to that. So we're going to miss the Wilcox Wine Festival. I think is that same time frame, but we will use that sign for sure. And we'll be in Wilcox before the year is out. Faithful Parking. Thank you, Deborah. So this is the app, the business that is Harvest Host like for churches. Faithful Parking. Thank you. We need to do some research on that. Maybe we can show that on a different date, but that's the name of it. Excuse me. They had a really small database last time I looked. I got a haircut today. I did, actually. And let's see. A few more questions. We'll call it a wrap. I said that 5 minutes ago. Scott, did you ever play the trumpet? Oh, wow. Look at how observant you are. We noticed the mouthpiece and lyre in Lily. I never played the trumpet. I tried the guitar. That failed miserably at that. What that is that you saw is a mouthpiece for a trumpet or a horn of some type, and the lyre is the little piece on top. Let me see if I can snag it really fast. So here's what she's talking about. So this is the trumpet piece. This is the lyre. So it's like steampunk art. So 2 different pieces of material that are pulled together with a clip. And I found it in the Fort Worth stockyards, and I just thought it was really cool. And then I put these 2 pictures in. I need to reprint them. They've turned faded bad. And what this is anybody recognize the old dude? It's probably the more famous picture. So this is Lickelbaugh, Texas. What's his name? Groucho. So when he's like 26, this one, and this is when he's like in his 60s. The difference is like 40 years. Look how different that. I mean, if you've taken our pictures like that, right? So the vision this guy might have had, and the vision he actually cast into the universe, is Luckenbach, Texas, literally as we know it today. And hold on, one more thing about that is his wife. Groucho Patterson, Luckenbach, Texas, center of the universe. So I knew I was going to find something to put on that lyre and mouthpiece, and this was Luckenbach, Texas, founder as we know it today. So great question, thank you. Travel Dreamer wants to know, Volta going to more vans in the future? Yes, they stated publicly, and it was kind of a soft launch, that Airstream vans are now going to be Volta equipped. And when I asked Jack about that, want to guess why? It wasn't because necessarily Airstream was clamoring to put a Volta system in, because their customers demanded it. Customer demand. Imagine buying an Airstream Atlas, a $280,000 rig, and you have a generator in your Harvest Host winery situation where you can't run it because they don't allow it. So they went to Volta, and I just can't be more happy with their choice there. So they've got, if you went to the factory tour this weekend, as part of the camp out, these guys are into everything. It's just so great. All right, let's wind this down. Here's a couple more questions, and wants to know, has your Volta DC inverter overheated? Both are in the jump seat. Yes, they are. So how often have you found a good way to prevent it? It's only overheated. It was the DC AC, and it did overheat in the sense that it wasn't charging anymore. It had to cool down. It was like twice last summer when I was driving Route 66 when it was excruciatingly hot. It shuts itself off. It cools down. I moved the jump seat so it can breathe better. I think that's part of the problem, is the breathing is not awesome in these jump seats. The way Winnebago implemented it. But that's the only time. Just let it cool down, and it's pretty easy. So Elliot's got a question here. Hey Elliot, do you always level your van? Leveling being relative. I try to find a level parking spot by giving the eyeball test as I'm driving it, and then when I kind of get it in the place that I want the van, I put it in neutral, so I let the van kind of settle out on its own. But I got a pretty good eye for that. I don't really worry about too much. Worst case, if it's a one-night thing, I can sleep the other way in the bed. You always want to have your head above your torso, but that's what I do. I do the eyeball, then I do the inner ear, let the van then settle in at neutral, and then I put it in park. Russo's sunburn actually wasn't too bad. Yeah. You ever read the next day? But, good to know. Okay, let's see. A couple more, and so Connie wants to know, I think we talked about this before, is there a way to conserve my battery on my Travato GL while running the fridge? Turn the inverter off. If you don't need the inverter for 120 volt outlets or the air conditioner, turn your inverter off. Your fridge will run on 12 volt, as will the ceiling fan, the lights, or water pump, all that runs on 12 volt. So if you don't need to have the inverter on, I would recommend turning it off. The difference is, inverter off, you can sit with DC mode only, direct current mode only, probably for anywhere from 4 to 5 days without moving or charging in some manner. With the inverter on, you're good for 1 day because it's very consumptive of the battery energy, probably 300 to 400 watts an hour. And in my case, I've got almost a 9,000 watt battery, so do the math. I could sit still for like 26 hours in that case. So that would be my recommendation. If you're not needing the 120 volt outlets or the air conditioner for sure, just turn your inverter off. I think you'll see a huge difference. Will make no difference in the fridge. Jeff, go swallow large. Gilbert, Class A, go smallish, live large, question mark, not an exclamation point. Yeah, that's a long way up. Let's see. Teresa, appreciate that. Very late to the party. Hey, glad to have you here. Yeah, I'm hitting the 19th hole here at the Lost Mart golf course. Long day. My temperature 100% beer is kicking in. Let's see. Okay, let's kind of wind this down. See you guys helping each other out here. This is great. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. Tremendous amounts. And look at my... We need to do a roundup. Maybe we need to do a Vanbury camp out in Lukenbach. We got to get on that. That would be so... Imagine some live music in Lukenbach. You know, giving a high five to Groucho. And what an amazing... That would be just mind-blowing. Yeah, we get Volta to sponsor. What do you think? That'd be cool. Dear Jack. And Storyteller. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I think we're going to call it a wrap. I'm at the end. So, boys and girls, what an exciting hour and a half. This may be actually the longest What's Up Wednesday ever and my least prepared, but what a lovely chat with you and you all amongst yourselves. I just have had a great, amazing week. My endorphins, I'm so out of endorphins that you will never know how amazing this week has been for all those reasons we talked about earlier. So I'm going to have the rest of this. It's my Friday night. I get my ladder installed tomorrow, so I can't be too bad of a boy because I have to be up in Chicago by 10 a.m. That'll be easy. And then we're off to Detroit. So excited. So thank you very much, each and every one of you. You have no idea what you mean to me and how much you drive me forward to keep doing things so we can all be better RVers, better travelers, and just be better humans. And what a great community we've got. And there's so many great memories. So with that, we'll say thank you very much. No, I'm burping. So time to go. And journey on, and peace be with you. We'll see you next week. And we'll see you next week. Sunday, video premiere. Bye, everybody.